This is Dow of Cottonwood, and I'm here with Diane Sordoni, and this is Clarksdale?
No, this is Cottonwood.
Still Cottonwood here, and we want to talk today about what's going on with Diane. So, how are you, Diane?
I'm doing wonderful.
Okay, what's going on in your life?
What's going on is that I am now recently been put onto the Center of Universal Light's committee to help them out. And as you presented to me, it's going to help me grow and it's going to help them grow.
Right.
So I'm honored to be able to be in that position to help them out.
That's too cool. You know that, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. And for people to know my background, I am a Reiki master. I am also a shamanic practitioner.
Okay, now time out. What does Reiki master mean?
Reiki master is that I've taken 4 classes, which brings you to being a Reiki master. And a lot of people think that if you're a Reiki master, that you're a master of Reiki. It's the complete opposite. So once you become a Reiki master, the Reiki masters you. The Reiki energy is mastering you. You've cleared your channel in bringing that energy through your whole entire system, that it will now master you in helping you to heal and helping you to heal others by being that channel.
What is Reiki energy?
Reiki energy is a Japanese technique which helps you to relax, alleviate stress, and can pretty much heal or help you to heal every conceivable disease and situations.
How do you know when you deployed it, or how do you know when you're receiving it? Is it like the imagery is, I think, what I'm asking you. Is it like a cloud that just comes over you, like a mist, like fog? Is it a sudden burst of, you tell me, what is Reiki energy?
Well, the energy part of it is, it's energy that comes from source. God, creator, higher power, spirit. It's energy that comes from there that I channel through a light hands-on touch to say to you.
Right.
Using the palms of my hands, I'm transmitting through my channel.
Reiki
this
comes
energy.
Through you?
It comes through me.
Okay.
It comes in through my crown chakra.
Your brain.
My brain.
Right.
And travels through my body.
Right.
And comes out my hands.
Cool.
There are other techniques that we use, but primal we use it most of the time coming through our hands.
Okay.
And the most important thing that a Reiki practitioner needs to do is to keep that channel clear. And what I mean by that is we need to work on healing ourselves.
Okay.
Because if we don't have a clear channel, then the amount of the energy that's coming through me may not be as powerful as someone else's.
Right. Right. Now, with the Reiki energy, being a recipient of it, how would I know when I'm receiving Reiki energy?
Usually when I have someone that is new at receiving, I usually start off by saying to trust and allow. To trust that the energy is working and to allow it to work. Because if you don't allow it, if you don't open yourself up to it, it will not transfer.
And that goes back to that belief that we heal ourselves. So if we believe we're healing ourselves,
right,
we are healing ourselves. If we believe we are receiving extra energy,
exactly,
we are receiving extra energy.
Exactly, so, because the Reiki energy is working to rebalance your whole system.
Okay.
From the smallest cell to the smallest molecule that makes up your body.
Cool.
It will help rebalance that. We work a lot with your chakras, which are your energy centers. We have the
See,
seven.
now the chakras mean different things to me. To me, chakras are your organs.
Mm-hmm.
And every one of those organs is, in effect, a separate life form. And we're stacked. We got all of this in us.
Mm-hmm.
And we even have multiple life forms living in our intestines.
Right.
So I mentioned, you said your crown chakra, and I said the mind, the brain, because
Right.
that's the top one.
Right.
And then there's the eye organs and the nose, and every one of these things,
Right.
they count. And the major one are skin.
Yes.
It's the largest organ. So,
Of course.
So that delivers your Reiki, comes out of you through it into the chakra of the other person.
Right.
Their skin.
Right.
Cool. I get you some. All right, so I'm with you there about the chakras.
Yeah, because if your chakras are off balance due to traumas, emotions, all sorts of different things can affect your chakras. And if they're not flowing properly, your whole system goes haywire.
Yes, because it's not working.
Right.
Right. It's not
Right.
in sync. How do you balance it? Nutrition. Like we always
Nutrition,
say.
yes. You do that with the nutrition and in working on healing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whatever modalities that you may relate to heal yourself. Doctors can only help you to heal yourself by giving you recommendations and medications or any type of therapies. But those things do not heal you. You heal yourself. You know, you look at that, you cut yourself with a knife. You put a Band-Aid on it maybe to stop bleeding. But eventually, that heals itself.
Yes.
The body is an amazing mechanism
Yes.
that it does that.
And I have found when I use modern medicine, if they give me something, it is to supplement my body's natural ability to do it.
Yes.
But it reduces my body's natural ability because it is now getting it from the pill, and my body says, well, I don't have to make that anymore. That chemistry I don't have to make. So
Right.
I lose ground. So there's a balance that I have found. When I think I need something, I search for nutrition, plant medicine, okay?
Exactly.
I say, okay, more omega-3 acids.
Omega-3s, yeah.
Amino acids. Okay, so comes in fishes, plant foods of all sorts of variety. I look to that, okay? And that is my first line of healing.
Yes.
Well, actually, the first line is I'm aware that I have a problem.
Right.
That's the first line. And then the second one is we look for solutions. And our belief is if you change your mind, you could change the outcome. Okay?
Right.
So
Right.
you look for a spiritual way to heal yourself, and you look for a physical way, like through medicines, plant medicines, and through processes like Reiki. Reiki's a process.
Right.
And I wanted to go with a religion there, but I said, no, that has nothing to do with religion. It is strictly it's a oneness with nature. Okay?
Yes.
It's saying, okay, I need to communicate with you for help.
Right. Because we got to keep in mind that the earth is sustaining us.
Yes.
We've forgotten that. And all the destroying that we're doing to this earth is affecting how we are now able to sustain ourselves. All the plant foods, we call it plant medicine, because food is actually a medicine, because it's providing us with nutrients,
Right.
which is helping
Keep us alive.
keep us alive and take care of our bodies and build up our immune system.
Right.
And utilizing a modality like Reiki helps you in one area, or not one area, but in an area. We don't recommend that you stop seeing a doctor. We want you to see a doctor because I am not diagnosing you. I am not looking at you that you have this issue or that issue. I am working with my intuition that is giving me the guidance on how to transmit the Reiki to you. But the Reiki also has a mind of its own. So once it starts transmitting into your system, it goes where it needs to go. I may feel that you have a bad shoulder. Okay, let me concentrate on that area. But it may not be your shoulder that's giving you the issue. It could be elsewhere in your body. So the Reiki is going to go there.
Right.
It will go to your shoulder because there's something throwing it off, so it needs to be brought back into balance. But it goes to where it is needed.
It's kind of like water. It flows to its own level.
Exactly.
It goes where it needs to go.
Exactly.
Okay.
And you made mention before on how you know that it's working, you being a recipient, how you know that it is working. Majority of the time, you feel either a lot of heat coming from the practitioner's hands, you may feel a vibration, you may feel coldness, and you may feel nothing at all. And each time it will be different because each time you get a session, your body is in a different way. Say if you came to me last week, you may have evolved from whatever issues you may have had, whether physically, mentally, emotionally, or even spiritually, because Reiki will help you in all those areas.
Okay.
And the biggest thing with Reiki right now, it is becoming more and more mainstream, where you have Reiki being practiced in hospitals, in cancer centers. It works very well with cancer.
Would you say it's taking the place of prayer, or it's an alternative for people who don't pray?
It can be an alternative, yes.
Okay.
But keep in mind that it is not a religion.
But time out, because we have to redefine what religion is.
Right.
Well, all of us have these older concepts that we grew up with. We were programmed young. God, heaven, blah, 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 hell, all of those things. And most people can't break through that.
Right.
Okay, so religion is what you actually believe, and it's what you practice. I have a habit of judging people, okay? I don't believe a word most people say about themselves, but I believe their actions. If I see them doing good, guess what kind of person they are? Okay, they're hurting people and stealing and, guess what kind of person they are? Okay, so a person's truth is their actions, how they live, who they are.
Right. Right.
So to me, that's your religion. You could say God if you want, but that's the way you're acting. So you're not doing what that book said about the 10 Commandments or whatever it is that you claim is your religion. You're not doing that. What you're doing is your religion. So first of all, we have to change our mindset now. We have to grow. We're not 2,000 years ago,
right,
when all of that was written. This is a different time. We dress different. We talk different. We've my modality is Taoism.
Right.
Okay, and I don't talk like that. Okay, I don't act like that, but I live like that.
Mm-hmm.
I live natural. I
Right.
go to medicines,
Okay.
or plant medicines.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I treat people I meet with respect and dignity, because that's the natural way to be.
Right.
Okay, so I live my religion. I'm a Taoist,
Mm-hmm.
and I tell
Yes.
people in a heartbeat, this
Mm-hmm.
is who I am. So I don't necessarily pray, but I do want to transmit to other people my energy if I see they need it,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes my help. If I see you need money, and I give money, if I see you need a hand pushing your car to the side of the road because I get out and I push, those are the things that we do that we don't attribute to religion, but that is us. The coolest thing that I find that I do is at supermarket. There's always a little old short gal that's looking up at the shelf, and I always say, I bet you I can reach that because I'm taller than you. And they smile at you, and you help them, and sometimes I see them later in the store, and they'll say, "You made my day," and I realize that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I do the same thing.
See,
I do the same thing.
It's just a people-to-people connection,
right?
And that's natural.
It's a kindness. It's an act of kindness.
Yeah, but I feel that that's a natural way to be. That's how we're supposed to be. It's supposed to be peace and love, not kill each other.
Right.
Okay. So I'm that way, and what you do helps. It helps me kind of understand that. Okay, maybe I'm not the only one that thinks that. All right, there's others out here. I'm not the lone wolf again.
Right.
Because most of my life's been like that. How about you?
Oh, yeah.
You were a loner too?
I was a loner too, yeah. I'm the youngest in my family. Mm-hmm. And I grew up with my older sister, was handicapped. So my parents had to devote a lot of time to taking care of her. So I pretty much felt like I fend for myself.
Okay.
And I think also because of that, it gave me maybe a certain amount of a trauma where I internalized. So I became very shy, or I was very shy. And I did not exercise my voice.
When you say shy, do you mean you just withdrew?
I withdrew.
Okay, I get you, because I don't know what shy means.
Yeah. Well, okay. You're far from being shy.
Like I said, I don't know what that means. Okay.
Yeah. Shy meaning that, you don't know how to use your voice. You don't know how to speak your truth or even your own opinion. And also, of course, I grew up in a time where, children were seen and not heard, and we were continuously reminded of that.
Okay.
And also, I was not given support on how I was. I was ridiculed because I was shy.
Okay.
And that happens to most people that are shy. People will ridicule them because they know that they're not going to come back at.
Okay.
And
you don't think it was to get you to talk?
No.
Okay.
No.
Just belittling
in my
you,
family,
period.
In my family, no,
Okay.
it wasn't that way.
Okay.
And also, I dealt with, a lot of discipline.
Physical discipline, or
we had physical discipline. Oh, okay. Yeah. It was back in the day when parents were allowed to hit. I got hit a number of times.
Okay.
Because if you want to say, I lived a double life. I learned to live a double life where, I lived one way at home, and then once I got outside, it was like, I would turn into a
You got to
different
be you.
I got to be me, exactly.
Okay.
Or trying to find who I am.
Okay.
And, and practicing in being different ways, but, I had, well, it was mainly my dad who always put me down. That, I would make a lot of mistakes in doing my homework. So, of course, I was stupid and I was dumb. So that psychologically preys on you.
Did you ever get to talk to him as an adult?
No.
And about that?
No, because my dad passed away.
No resolution?
No. Because my dad passed away, I just turned 17.
Okay.
So I never got that opportunity.
Okay.
But what I did was when he passed away, I cracked down on the books and studied harder and everything because I wanted to prove that I was not that person.
He was wrong.
Yeah, that I was not that person that he thought
Right.
I was.
Right.
And every time that I was able to accomplish things in a better way that I had done before he passed away, I felt so wonderful about myself.
Okay, now see, this is contradictory to what I just asked you. I said, do you think he did that to spur you on to make you a better person? And you said no. But now you're telling me that did it. Those words made you a better person.
Yeah, they did in the long run, yes.
So
but
we come from a growth.
Right.
Okay, I hear you now. I'm getting you. Okay.
Yeah. It's just that I was, in talking about it, I was in that
I get it.
stage of the pain that it was causing me.
Okay.
But then the realization later on, when I started to learn and became more wise, then I understood what the reasoning of that
right. He was trying to get you to grow.
Exactly.
In his own inept ways, as inept as it was.
Right.
Because obviously if it hurt you, even emotionally, it was inept.
Right.
But we're all like that. We don't have skills. We develop. We're better grandparents than we are parents, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, and we saw that in our parents. They were great grandparents, but we thought they sucked as parents.
Yeah.
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 That's weird how that works. But
yeah. But as I started to grow older, then I started to really see how the mechanisms work.
Okay.
That of course I couldn't see as a young girl or even a teenager.
Right.
Because we were too busy trying to figure life out. Right. And not to say that I have life figured out right now, because I don't. We're here to learn, and you never stop learning because there's always something new to learn.
Right.
But I have a better and deeper understanding of my path that brought me here today and has made me what I am today.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Now, and we're talking about your path. You are an ordained minister.
Yes.
Okay. Is there a specific message that you carry that you want people to know? Do you want people to have that we will benefit from a insight that you have maybe?
I would say my message that I would like to bring is to live your truth. Find your way to live your truth. We are conditioned from when we were children, what our parents, our grandparents wanted us to be, but that's not who we are. Once we start to get older and a little bit wiser and we go out into the world, we start to learn there's more to me than going to school and getting good grades. We have our crafty side. We have our natural abilities to help other people. We just start listening to our heart, because our heart is what really gives us guidance, because our heart is full of love. And we need to take that love, and we learn to take that love and share it with everyone that we meet. You know, love isn't just given to your parents or your grandparents or your wife or husband. It's given to all.
It's helping that little old lady with them canned goods.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You know, and I think too, with my sister who was handicapped, that taught me how to work with people a lot differently than anyone else would work with someone.
Okay.
Because when you're working with someone that has a disability, they're not capable of doing things exactly the same way. So if they need a little help once in a while, give it to them. And where that is coming from is compassion.
I hear you.
Compassion.
I hear you. And on the other end of the spectrum, from a handicapped person's spectrum, was I always found a different way of doing things because the assets weren't the same. Okay.
Right.
So a lot of times I found my way was easier, quicker, more economical, and was a better way. And once it was presented, because I worked in industry as an engineer manufacturing, they adopted those things.
Right.
Okay. And plus I was left-handed, so I did things different than the right-handed folks, you know, and I found that was a plus. It was never a negative, even though some people perceived it as that.
Right.
But it was my plus. It excelled me, it propelled me. That was one of the better things that happened to me.
Right.
Because I would not be the same person. You know, if I didn't follow that path, I would have been different.
Right. Right. And I think, you know, because I know we've talked about, you know, your story, and with the guidance that you got from your mom, you know, I think, you know, really propelled you, you know, striving to make do with what you had and make the best out of yourself that you could.
Yeah.
Where, you know, I watched my sister grow.
Okay.
And unfortunately, she wasn't treated the same way.
Right. So she grew in a different direction.
She grew in a different direction.
Based on your mother's love for her.
Exactly.
Restricted her.
Exactly.
Got it.
She did want to, you know, be more independent, and she did learn to be independent. And unfortunately, she had a situation at one place where she was, you know, taking on some learning skills because they would have more than one type of handicap people within this, say, training center. And unfortunately, she had a person that, you know, did not have good mental stability and lashed out at her. My sister was blind. And this girl, you know, she was mentally challenged. And for whatever reason, she lashed out at my sister and she hit her. So my sister, not being able to see, of course, did not see that coming. And the shock that it must have given to her, it built up this fear in her. That, you know, she did not want to go there anymore. She was afraid, is this person going to act out on her again? And every time that she did go back, for the short amount of time that she did after the event, she had so much anxieties and everything. And Mom coddled her and said, don't worry, everything will be okay. If you want to stay home, you can stay home. Instead of saying, okay, let's see, how can we make this situation better for you?
Right.
Can I talk to whomever is supervising and have you not be where that person is?
Right. I hear you.
So
And that's a rough one, because that analogy that you presented fits for most of us out here in the world. Just like a blind person, sightless person, we have a fear of what to do next. Where to step. We could fall to our deaths, anything.
Sure.
It's a natural fear. And I was taught you project an image into the future, okay, of what you want to do, what you want to be, how you're going to be. And your faith in yourself propels you towards that image.
Right.
And your faith allows you to pick up the tools you need along the way to get you to that. So you are no longer sightless. You have I call it my ability to look through the fog of uncertainty and the unknown. I project it, and it works for me every time. It's better than a God. Okay?
Right.
Because I deliver from myself. My belief in myself delivers. So
right.
I don't pray and pray and pray for peace on earth and it never comes in 2,000 years. So I say, I'm going to do this, and I do it. And maybe if your sister would have had someone else there to talk to her, right, like we're talking now.
Yes.
But even then, I didn't have that knowledge. I was going on faith alone because, my parents said, if we do this, this will work. Because they knew, they had faith.
Right.
And they convinced me from time to time to do stuff like that. And I said, okay, I got my own religion. Me.
Right.
I'm it,
Right.
And I have faith in me. So is that in your message? Because that's a tool to me. That's how to use faith. That's a tool.
Right.
Projection.
Right.
My imagery. Go to it, believe in yourself. Those are tools that I've used. So in your ability to, your ministries, do you present other tools to people?
Yeah, I try to instill, certain tools.
Okay.
But what happens here again is that, we've been conditioned from a child.
But you have to break that.
That's the thing, is to come to that breaking point.
Right.
Which is when I finally came to that breaking point, it was like a whole new world opened up to me. And now I had to work on getting rid of all those patterns and insecurities and a lack of confidence. And, it's still a work in progress. It's like the way my Reiki teacher explained it to us, is like peeling an onion, one layer at a time.
Cool.
One layer at a time. Okay. And sometimes the layers start to grow back a little bit.
I know, because it took you so long.
Exactly. But the thing is that you build up the ability to become conscious of that. And once you become conscious of when old patterns or old ways start creeping back up again, then it's like, no, you're not. Back away. I'm not that person anymore.
Right.
I am here. I got my sword.
You got your shield and your sword.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm Rose Thunder. Okay.
And I think part of that comes from Archangel Michael.
Okay.
Because he's the protector, and he's got that shield, and he's got that sword, because he was clashing at, whatever demons and whatever, can affect you and harm you. So when I came to realize his abilities that, came to my life when my husband was ill with cancer. And Archangel Michael is the patron saint of police officers. My husband was a police officer.
Yeah, you told me.
And, I was like, okay, we got Archangel Michael here, you know, and I started, you know, picking up on him, and yep, he's always right there.
So the more you read about him, the more you absorbed those characteristics.
Exactly.
That morality. So
because
you
I
have
had
become,
faith. I had faith
right,
that all I have to do is say, Archangel Michael, I need your help.
okay.
And I don't even have to ask. He's always been there for me.
Those qualities are now in you.
Right.
And you're aware of them and you use them. So that's a tool.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Imagery. Okay. Again, like I do, I forecast my image and I do it. Move towards it, you know?
Right.
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 Okay.
And, you know, and I explain to people that everybody has different tools because each person resonates with different tools.
Right.
So it's, you know, you have to, it's like opening up that toolbox and saying, okay, what are we going to use today? Okay.
Right tool for the right job makes it work. Okay.
Exactly.
All right. Because you can't use a hammer for everything.
Right.
Because everything will be a nail then.
Mm-hmm.
And we know everything isn't.
No.
Okay.
No. But, you know, once you start finding those things, once you start opening up, I tell people to open their minds. Let their minds go free. Let it loose. And the one way to do that is to just sit there and be. Sit there and be, and just let your body, let your thoughts just flow. But when things start flowing in a direction that makes you feel uncomfortable, then, you know, you start to pull that back a little bit. But let it flow, let it happen. Get that feeling. Allow that feeling to happen so you could acknowledge it and then release it when you feel comfortable to release it and let it go.
Okay.
Because once you do that, then you're free of that. And again, it may come back every once in a while, but each time that you learn to let it go again, it becomes easier and easier. And then finally, whatever it may be gets a message and it won't bother you anymore.
Okay. And I'm seeing an analogy that I use when I play chess. I look at alternate moves for alternate pieces and I discard some. And that's what you're saying. You see a thought and it doesn't quite, it's not quite in step with where you're at or where you're going at that time, so you discard it. And if it pops up again, there's a reason it popped up again. So that has to be explored.
Because it's there to help you to recognize something else that's going on.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. And then, so you can't discard it when it pops back up. You say, okay, it came for a reason and I wasn't paying attention. I see it now.
Right.
I'll look into it.
But one important key that, you know, in doing this type of a process is when you're going to release and let it go, thank it. Express your gratitude.
What will that do for you?
Because
for you?
It will then make me know that I've learned the lessons.
You acknowledge that
you're acknowledging
you sent a message and you acknowledge the message and you are grateful. Thank you for that knowledge you gave me.
Right, because gratitude.
Now, my indigenous friends are like that. They thank nature for the plants, the food, the water, the air, the lesson.
Yes.
Each other.
Exactly.
So I see what you're saying, and I understand a larger concept there. I think that's a beautiful thing. Now, how does Reiki come into your ministry type work? Or does it?
Well, I don't really have, say, a ministry, so to speak.
Well, those are your friends. Okay, let's be real.
Exactly.
You got one. The people around you like you for a reason. Some of it is because of who you are. Some of it is because of how you are. And
Right.
how you are is because of what you know and what you do. So you have a ministry. Now, okay, it's there.
You see, because certain labels I don't like to put on things. I don't really like to put labels on things.
Because of the imagery of the past. And
Right.
I'm telling you, dump the past.
Right.
But use the words, because the words are real.
Yeah.
And they do have a meaning. We just have to put a modern face on it.
Right.
You're ministering to me right now. So,
And that's what I say to people. You know, they say, well, where did you learn to be a minister? And I say, I learned it from life.
Yep. All them hard years.
I didn't do any schooling or any online course or anything like that, you know, to become an ordained minister. Okay. You know, I did it online, but it didn't have that requirement.
Okay.
And when I was looking to do that, it wasn't like I just wanted to say,
I'm this too.
I'm this. That my ego is saying, okay, we got to do this.
Right.
It was because I felt that I had something to offer people. And if they look at me as being an ordained minister, what is an ordained minister?
Right. You define that through your actions, who
Exactly.
you are and how you are.
Exactly.
Okay.
And it also, you know, like I said, it does help in doing all the other work that I do. It helps in doing Reiki because you have your legalities, because I'm touching people. And there's certain laws in certain states, most states, right, that if you don't have a massage license.
And you treat women that is so crass.
Exactly.
So, if you're touching somebody, you're doing it because you're a prostitute.
Right.
That's the horriblest thing.
Exactly.
This society is really screwed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, why would you even think thoughts like that?
Yeah.
So that's part of what we have to ignore. We have to dump that.
Exactly.
And revisit what life really is for us right here and right now.
Yeah.
And different areas have different perceptions of life. Here is totally different than my friends living in the bigger cities, inner cities. It's a completely alien life.
It is.
Yeah. So, you know,
you're talking to someone that came from the Big Apple,
you come from
New York.
So you know where people stacked on top of people. And frustrations and anxiety and all of the darkness of poverty. Poverty kind of it authorizes criminal activity because survival. Exactly. You got to eat. Yeah. You got to feed your kids. You know, blah blah blah, and it just it's overwhelming for a lot of people. Yes. Okay. And when I see stuff like that, that's what I try to help. And because I feel stronger, my presence and how I present to the world, when I could help people. That's when I'm Superman, okay? Right. Okay. That my little cape is flowing behind me in the wind, and you know, I'm feeling good because I've done something meaningful. Right. You know, and I felt that with raising my kids. And I felt that with my wife. We had the coolest little thing. She would go do her, whatever it was, you know, and she worked with the Head Start program, helping kids. Okay. And typically it was young girls that had babies, and so you got a 15-year-old gal, she don't know nothing about being a parent, you know, so right. So a lot of times the wife would say, we got to buy some shoes, you know, or, you know, we got to have money for such and such because they don't have no food. So we would scrimp and save. I would go without my lunch some days so that I would have money to help.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I wouldn't take it from the family. You know, we had a budget and we stuck to that. But if I had some kind of way of getting extra money, I would make sure that she had it to help. So
Right.
we were used to helping. And I took my sons to the St. Mary's, and we served food. We washed dishes, we cleaned tables. We did, a few times a year I would do that. And I notice now they do that with their kids. So we started a habit, and I think that's beautiful.
It is, because I've done that myself.
See?
You know, I've worked in, if you want to call it, say, like a soup kitchen.
Right.
Where, you know, I was helping out on, you know,
People who
unfortunately.
need help.
Right.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that.
And it's so rewarding to be able to do that.
How'd you feel? I felt
I
all
felt
warm and fuzzy
Oh
inside.
yeah, no, I felt like